He was told he might never amount to much. Teachers said he was slow, but he went on to change the way we understand the universe. You've heard the name Albert Einstein. Now wait till you hear the real story. Albert Einstein was born on March 14, 1879, in Ulm, in the Kingdom of Württemberg, in the German Empire. His parents, Hermann and Pauline Einstein, were middle-class Jews. His father was an engineer and salesman, and his mother, a talented pianist, encouraged a love for music in Albert that lasted his entire life. From the beginning, Einstein's development puzzled those around him. He didn't speak until he was nearly 4, leading many to think something was wrong. He would later recall speaking slowly and deliberately, often repeating sentences under his breath. This cautious way of processing and formulating thoughts was actually an early sign of his deeply reflective nature. His early schooling in Munich was strict and authoritarian. He despised rote learning and clashed with his teachers. But even then, his fascination with nature and mathematics was undeniable. At the age of 5, he encountered a compass, and its invisible magnetic force captivated him. He later described it as one of the most powerful experiences of his youth. Despite his struggles in school, Einstein was brilliant in mathematics and physics. By age 12, he had taught himself algebra and Euclidean geometry. At 16, he attempted to enroll at the Swiss Federal Polytechnic in Zurich, failing the general portion of the entrance exam, but excelling in physics and math. He spent a year preparing and was accepted in 1896. There, he met Mileva Maric, a fellow student and later his first wife. Their marriage was intense and complicated. Some historians suggest Mileva contributed to Einstein's early work, though this remains debated. After graduating, Einstein couldn't find a teaching post and took a job at the Swiss Patent Office in Bern. Working as a technical expert third class, he examined patent applications and had time to think, deeply and differently. During this time, he conducted what he called thought experiments, imagining scenarios like chasing a beam of light. Then came 1905, Einstein's Annus Mirabilis, or Miracle Year. In just 12 months, he published 4 revolutionary papers in the journal Annalen der Physik. Photoelectric effect. He proposed that light could behave as both a wave and a particle, introducing the concept of the photon. This helped launch quantum theory and later won him the Nobel Prize in 1921. Brownian motion. By analyzing the erratic movement of particles in liquid, he offered strong proof for the existence of atoms and molecules, which at the time was still controversial. Special relativity. In this paper, Einstein discarded the idea of absolute time and space. He showed that time could slow down and length could contract depending on the observer's motion relative to the speed of light. Mass-energy equivalence, the most famous equation in physics, E = mc2. It revealed that mass and energy are interchangeable, laying the groundwork for nuclear power and weapons. These papers didn't just shake the scientific world, they redefined it. In 1909, Einstein finally entered academia, securing a post at the University of Zurich. Over the next few years, he moved through positions in Prague and Berlin, becoming a professor and member of the Prussian Academy of Sciences. By 1915, Einstein unveiled his greatest achievement, the general theory of relativity. While special relativity dealt with observers moving at constant speeds, general relativity described how mass and energy warp the very fabric of space-time, producing what we perceive as gravity. To test this theory, Einstein predicted that light from stars would bend as it passed near the sun. This bold claim was confirmed during a solar eclipse in 1919 by Arthur Eddington's expedition. When newspapers around the world reported it, Einstein became a global celebrity overnight. He traveled the world, giving lectures and receiving honors. But fame didn't change his principles. Einstein spoke out against nationalism, militarism, and anti-Semitism, even as these forces rose in Germany. When Hitler came to power in 1933, Einstein, a Jewish intellectual and vocal pacifist, knew he was in danger. He emigrated to the United States, accepting a position at the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton, New Jersey. He would never return to Germany. In America, Einstein grew concerned about the rise of fascism and the potential for Nazi Germany to develop atomic weapons. Though a pacifist at heart, he co-signed a letter to President Franklin D. Roosevelt in 1939, urging the US to begin atomic research. That letter led to the creation of the Manhattan Project, though Einstein himself had no role in the project's actual development. After the war, Einstein was horrified by the use of atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. He became a passionate advocate for nuclear disarmament and world peace, warning that the unleashed power of the atom has changed everything except our thinking. Einstein was not just a physicist, he was a humanist, a civil rights supporter, and a man of deep ethical concern. He was close friends with Paul Robeson and W.E.B. Du Bois, and was an outspoken critic of racial segregation in America. He called racism the worst disease of his country. In his later years, Einstein worked tirelessly on a unified field theory, an attempt to unify electromagnetism and gravity into a single framework. Though he never succeeded, his pursuit inspired generations of physicists to chase the same goal. Einstein's personal life was filled with complexities. He divorced Mileva Maric and later married his cousin Elsa. He had 3 children, but his relationship with them, particularly his son Edward, was strained and tragic. Edward suffered from mental illness and spent much of his life in psychiatric care. Despite his fame, Einstein lived modestly. He often wore old clothes, rarely combed his hair, and didn't even wear socks. He was quirky, brilliant, and deeply thoughtful. On April 17, 1955, Einstein suffered an abdominal aortic aneurysm. He refused surgery, saying, "I want to go when I want. It is tasteless to prolong life artificially. I have done my share. It is time to go." He died the next day, on April 18, 1955, at the age of 76. During his autopsy, his brain was removed without permission and studied for decades. Scientists found it had an unusually high number of glial cells in the region, responsible for mathematical thought. But his genius can't be reduced to anatomy. Einstein changed the world, not just with equations, but with courage, curiosity, and compassion. He showed us that time can bend, that light can behave like a particle, and that mass and energy are one. But perhaps his greatest lesson was this: imagination is more important than knowledge. If you found this story as fascinating as we did, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. There's so much more history, science, and mystery coming your way. Thanks for watching. And keep questioning everything.